Welcome back to English class, children. Hope all are doing well at your places. Children, today in this video lecture, we are going to revise Reader Chapter 2, A Narrow Escape. A Narrow Escape is a story written by Leela Majumdar, a writer of children's stories in Bengali. It tells the story of Taipa and his experience in a hillside house. The story is set at a time during the Second World War, when many people fled Calcutta scared of it being bombed. So, one of the narrator's uncle's family had decided to move to Kurseong in the Darjeeling district. A house was found, the rent decided, but an old aunt refused to move to a place she had not seen before. To solve that problem, her grandson Taipa was sent to find out more about the place. Taipa arrived at a picturesque town and found his way to the house. There was no watchman waiting, but the door was unlatched, so he pushed it open and walked in. The house was beautiful, well maintained, with functional furniture, running tap water, and wonderful views all around. Just then it started raining so heavily that it grew dark. Suddenly there was a knock on the door. Taipa opened the door to an old, drenched, and cold Englishman with a briefcase. Taipa welcomed him. The Englishman took out his soggy bundles of 100-rupee notes from his suitcase and put them to dry. Taipa was curious, but he didn't ask. For 3 days and nights, while it rained, Taipa and the Englishman stayed in the house. Somehow, Taipa managed the food, while the Englishman only had tea with condensed milk. After 3 days, when sunshine returned, Taipa bid the Englishman goodbye. When he went back to Calcutta, his uncle had decided on a different location because Taipa took too long to get back. Children, many years later, when Taipa was much older, he decided to visit Kurseong again to the same house. Luckily, it was still available. This visit too turned out to be quite similar. In what way? The train station, the path to the house itself. As soon as Taipa stepped into the house, it started to rain, just like that day years ago. It grew dark. There was a knock on the door. Taipa opened it to find the same old, drenched and cold Englishman with a briefcase standing in front of him. Taipa slid past him and ran away as fast as his feet could take him. So this is the summary of the story, children. Now let us read the chapter. A Narrow Escape, a translation of Taipa Abhiyokta by Leela Majumdar. As most will know, during the Second World War, scores of people scared of being bombed had fled from Calcutta to various noxious and dangerous places. At that time, one of my uncle's families had been considering moving to Kurseong for a couple of months. So, a small cottage at a reasonable rent was found in a healthy and beautiful place. My eldest aunt, however, refused to relocate to a house that she had not seen before. Hence, Taipa, her dear grandson, was sent on a recce of the house. The obedient grandson packed his woolens, and a thick blanket in a small suitcase and set off on his journey. He dropped by at the landlord's office to collect the keys, but was told that he would not require a key to enter the house. The person also informed him that a postcard had been sent to the watchman and mattresses, pillows, as well as utensils had been arranged for. He just had to meet the watchman upon his arrival in Kurseong. The train chugged in on time. Tayapa got off and, lugging his suitcase on his shoulder, he took Bow Hill Road to his destination. The landscape was lovely with serpentine roads and corner shops selling rice, lentils, potatoes, salt, and essential stationery. Halfway down was a small lane to the right. Tayapa took a turn and there stood before him an elegant, picturesque house, the only one in that area. It had a red tin roof, green doors and windows, red wooden gate. He pushed the gate and it creaked open. He walked inside and shouted out for the watchman. There was no response. A few minutes later, he called out again. No one came. Tayapa was an impatient man. He went ahead, pushed open the glass door, and went in. The hall was long. A mat made of dried coconut shells lay on the floor. There were sofas, tables, and even a mirror rack to hang hats and umbrellas. Tayapa played with the switches and the bedroom lit up. He turned the taps in the bathrooms and there was water. Everything in the house seemed to be working just fine. The locale was perfect too. Tayapa concluded that they could live here for 6 or 7 months at great ease. He decided to return home the very next morning. Suddenly it started raining cats and dogs. As is common in any hilly area, the sky, the mountains, and the valley was suddenly engulfed by a thick fog. One could not tell whether it was still day or night. Suddenly, someone started pounding on the door. Tayapa opened it and saw a rickety old Englishman drenched to his skin, holding a small briefcase and staring back at him. There were patches of moss and mud on his trousers. His cheeks were hollow, his face pale. He was shivering in the cold, his teeth chattering incessantly. May I please come in? Of course, what a day. Why don't you change into some warm clothes and have some tea, please? The 2 beds in the bedroom had a blanket each. After tea, the Englishman opened his briefcase to reveal wads of 100-rupee notes, which he carefully laid on the mat to dry. Then he slipped into bed, but he kept shivering even with 2 blankets. So Tayapa tucked his most favorite hot water bottle under the man's feet. Then he had dinner and fell fast asleep. The rain continued for 3 days at a stretch. Soon they ran out of food. Tayapa searched the kitchen and located a small stove and a torn umbrella. He ran to the corner shop to get rice, lentils, potatoes, onions, and a bottle of oil. He nearly burnt the house trying to light the stove, but the Englishman appeared just in time. Tayapa's visitor was very affable. He had high fever yet refused to have anything but tea and condensed milk. Although Tayapa was a wee bit curious, the old man consciously avoided talking about his bank notes. Beams of bright sunshine flooded the rooms on the third day. The sky was clear and blue. Tayapa packed his bags, bid farewell to the Englishman, and left for the station. On his return to Calcutta, he was told that the family had decided to go to Ghatshila as he had taken too long to return. His eldest aunt had already left for the place the previous day. After 15 years, Tayapa was a family man now. Once deciding to visit Kurseong during the puja vacations, he looked up the same house again. It was available this time. He voluntarily undertook the responsibility of inspecting it. On reaching the place, he deposited his suitcase with the station master and quickly walked up to the house. He planned to return that very evening. Every bit of this visit mirrored his previous one. The charming house, the crooked creek gate, the absence of the watchman, the open glass door, the light in the bedrooms, and the water from the taps. As if that were not enough, clouds enveloped the sky, the mountains and the valley in blinding darkness, and it began to rain heavily. Suddenly, Tayapa heard knocks on the door. Just on that night 15 years ago. He opened the door. Before him stood an old rickety Englishman with a small briefcase. "May I please come in?" Tayapa held the door wide open, slid past the Englishman, and tore down the curved path towards the railway station.